Hello, everybody. Welcome. All right. So super quick today. Well, it's actually really funny. So yesterday when I was driving home, one of our rhinos gave me a call. And this rhino let me have it, right? Listed all the things about the webinars that are not good. Well, that need to be improved, right? And all of which I totally agree with. And the commentary was, Anthony, you shouldn't have to wait a couple of minutes for people to get on. People that are on time want the content right away. Anthony, talking for 40, 50 minutes is a little long. People have other stuff to do. Time is precious. Okay. Anthony, I find that I don't really get much out of it because you kind of just talk and there's not much value to it, which I kind of disagreed with a little bit. But again, you listen to everything and I'm in my position because I'm able to, I guess, delineate or decipher between really, really good advice and really good critique, but maybe something I don't agree with, right? So if everyone agreed on all the same stuff, there would be no successful person because everyone would be equal success. So by definition, disagreeing is not a bad thing, if done respectfully, of course, right? So that is where we're going with this, right? So starting tomorrow, these calls are going to be 10 a.m. and only for 10 minutes. Because the goal, see, I guess the part that I kind of push back on a little bit is an economy is built on trust, right? An economy has commerce and currency. So for instance, for me to purchase something from you, I have to trust that the good or service you're providing me is good. I got to trust that if it's not goods, I have recourse. And you have to trust that I'm not counterparty risk, that the thing I'm giving you, whether it be a credit card or check or cash, is going to be good and it has to hold its value. All of those things we overlook are built on trust. Now, for any one person to say the economy isn't working for like 90% of us, and our solution is in creating a new economy, basically what we're doing, right? Rhino bucks would be the currency, which you're not allowed to say out loud, right? I think that's a felony to create a new currency. So it's not that, it's a payment mechanism. And the good and service is what? RHINOretirement. We're offering you a platform that goes ahead and solves universal income. In all of those things, there's a lot of trust involved. You got to remember, we've been with y'all for quite some time. And if one remembers back when we shared the idea and when it was 1 cent and 2 cents and 3 cents and 8 cents and 50 cents and $1, nobody has received a coin yet. There hasn't been a coin in anyone's wallet just yet, which now we're doing. But for anyone to go ahead and invest all of that time period, there has to be a trust that we were going to get to this point. And we were only going to get to this point if that investment panned through. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. This had to be real for that to happen, and that had to happen for this to happen. So how are we able to jump back and forth through time? It sounds silly, right? Well, I'm only here because back here, I was able to paint a picture that we would be there. So the fact that we are here, everyone that's been a part of it's like, okay, I get it. I trust it. I believe it. And all of those steps, those commitments have become larger and larger. Everyone has walked the path and journey together. So for us to continue going forward, which right now, and my email, again, the next 30 days is going to be a lot of patience and teachable moments and improvement opportunities and fire alarms and patience, right? There's going to be a lot of that required. So the trust is, well, Anthony, I trust you. The fact that you outline that so clearly, my expectations are managed. But now what if I'm just like, okay, and I'll see you in 30 days, bye. You would be like, wait a second, I need to, listen, if I'm putting in the work of trusting you, then I need to see you putting in the work of earning my trust. Trust isn't something that you get and then you just go walk away with. So to kind of address that critique, I believe that rain, snow, thunder, and lightning, to always be accountable and to always be right here, is worth something. It is, oh, I always forget to turn the chat on. And then I always say, well, I need to fix that. So I guess I could just skip that today, right? Anyway, but now our focus is shifting. We're pivoting. And that's not pivoting from trust to not trust. It's not pivoting from earning trust to not earning trust. It's that, to that Rhino's point, these calls now need to be full of content. And because we're doing so much new stuff together, there's so much content to share on a daily basis. So anyone that's involved in this program on any given day might face this, this moment. And I know I face it. What is Rhino retirement? Do you know how hard that is to answer? Like, universal income is how I answer it. But when you say, well, how do you do it? It's all based on the foundations of an economy. There's so much trust into all the components that the end actually equals what it's supposed to equal, because everyone looks for it to equal it by creating it. And that's how the world works. When you have a large population of people that say, this is what we want, guess what? That's what they get, because strength in numbers. So I'm currently still working on the script for Rhino Retirement, the centerpiece video. And I gotta tell you, so yesterday it was 5 pages long. It took me like 7 hours. And then I was talking to this Rhino on the phone, and she's like, hey, why don't you send it to me, right? But during my conversation, she was sharing, hey, listen, do I understand this right? Do I understand this right? Can you summarize this for me? And I realized the call took forever. It was a 37-minute call, and I'm just like, I felt beat up. I felt like I was playing so much word gymnastics that I said, oh, by the way, I'm going to send you what I thought was a final copy. I realized it's not even close to it. So this is the cool part about what the script looks like. So it's 5 pages of pure Anthony alien, like, this is like step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, from someone picking their nose to somebody belching, and what it meant to the price of China, the price of tea in China, right? Then I was able to filter it down to summarize those 5 pages over 2 pages. But I don't introduce a new thought. I only summarize what's there, so that I know no matter what the summary is, it does reflect the initial education part. Now, today, I'm summarizing even further to conversational speak, because I find that saying things like e-commerce transactions is probably not very persuasive to anybody. I find that when I say things like, I don't know, just all the different stuff, Wall Street investor-owned corporations and market orders, people are like, Anthony, I don't actually even know what you're talking about. I trust you because I know you, and I know you know what you're talking about, but that doesn't help us succeed to win the person that doesn't know me. There's going to be a lot of people that have no idea who I am. And those people, it's incumbent on my responsibility to Rhino to be able to translate to them. Because if we only go ahead and grow as large as those that are already with us, this would be a great failure. It really, really would. Now, by all accounts, it's going to be a great success. In fact, as of now, we've crossed over $11,700 on a weekly Rhino Bucks commitment. Our goal was only 10,000. We're now 17% higher than our goal. And our goal was 10,000 a week, which is 520,000 for a year. We're close to 600,000 a year is already committed to buying Rhino Bucks every single week. You talk to anyone that's ever done crypto and say, what would your coin look like if you had over 500,000 already committed to buying it every single day of every single week, spaced out equally? They would look at you and say, oh my God, that would be heaven. What others define as heaven is where our starting point is. Because if you look at me, it doesn't, I'm wearing a hoodie from Salesforce. I had to look at my shirt before I got on this, and I wondered if it was the same shirt that I wore yesterday. And it's not because like I'm a bum, but it's just, this is what we're doing. There is no time to celebrate just yet. So to get back to what I was saying, our calls are going to be Monday, 7 days a week minus Sunday, from 10 a.m. to 10 a.m. They're going to be highly structured, as the basis of those calls are going to be the email. I've decided that I am going to send an email every day, 9 a.m., especially for primarily for these 30 days. And let's see, if people hate it, then I'll either find a way for some to opt out of just that email, or we'll can the whole thing. But I know if I was on the other side of the camera, and the level of trust is quite high, I would want to know everything about everything. And I find that I do not want to have the responsibility of purposely knowing more than anyone. It doesn't help anyone. There's no reason for me to know something that you don't. There really is no reason. There's no, I'm gonna buy it on this date. Everything is automated. Everything is already scheduled. The way we built it is completely impervious to anyone knowing something more than anyone else. In fact, on the RHINOretirement Command Center page that we're working on right now. So you remember that data sheet from the other day with all the numbers and projections? Well, that's our master sheet, which everyone has access to. And if you don't know where it is, you're going to have access on the website. Now, so there's a video of me in the middle, and then around the perimeter is 5 different graphs that we've identified that are quite important, right? Scheduled to buy, projected to sell, average plan size, number of customers, and fair market value. Now, in any one of those, not for the 1.0, but for the 2.0, in any one of those, there's going to be time schedules that you could select. So, scheduled to buy. Hey, Deborah, scheduled to buy. Well, how much is scheduled to buy tomorrow? How much is scheduled to buy Tuesday? How much is scheduled to buy over the next 7 days? How much is scheduled to buy over the next 30 days? How much is scheduled to buy over the next 6 months? How much has been bought yesterday? How much was bought last week? So that chart and all of those numbers are in the master sheet. So we've been really a lot taking those numbers, building out the calculations, and building out the algorithm that pulls those numbers, so that when you press that button, you always know everything that happened and everything that's expected to happen in the future. Same thing with projected amount to sell. Now, here's the fun part, the fair market value. I think it might just be you, otherwise other people would have yelled at me by now. Or at least I hope they would, right? There's like a lot of people here. And then there's fair market value. So what's fair market value? Well, if we know that there's 40,000 scheduled to buy tomorrow, and we know by all estimations that there's only, say, 2,000 projected to sell tomorrow, well, the fair market value, 40,000 divided by 2 is 20. Well, if we're able to show you that the fair market value is 20, and we're able to show you that the Rhino Bucks price is only like $1.37, well, then what's the question you then ask? Well, Anthony, what's the difference? Well, this is how this works. Because we're compressing and suppressing the price down to only 1 penny per day by selling the billion Rhino Bucks, which allows us to go ahead and liquefy our investors for their investments and allow them to get their coin, we're able to suppress the price purposely, though. It's not just for them. Anyone that knows me knows I have never, not once, done anything for the investor's interest. I've done it for Rhino's interest, and every investor of Rhino has been on board with that, right? So let's get that out the way. So in doing so, what does it allow me to do? What does it allow you to do? What does it allow everyone to do? Hey, everyone, this thing is $1.37. You can buy it right now. It's going to be $20. It's worth $20 when all of that coin's gone. Look, you can watch the coin going. Get in, get in, get in. Now, when people get in, what happens to the scheduled demand? Well, more plans equals more buying. More buying equals higher demand. Well, if everyone's getting in for that moment, are they selling? Probably not. So the scheduled demand goes higher. The projected sales stays stagnant, maybe a little, whatever. And the fair price, which is the demand divided by supply, always increases. Here's the fun part. When that billion coin is gone, we can't compress the price any longer. So the price springboards to the fair market price. And that's not us just, oh my God, it's, if we had a crystal ball. No, there's 40 people buying, there's 2 people selling, like you put it together. Here's the secret sauce though. And this is where, sorry, I was talking to her yesterday. Market orders, and I don't know what the hell a market order is. All of the Rhino retirement programs are coded, but not yet because we have to get the bot done, but they will be coded. Oh no, I'm out of breath and I haven't slept, so I'm just passionate, right? In fact, the person I was talking to yesterday is one of my favorite people. We're on the phone for 37 minutes and we're always on the phone. I'm just out of breath. I've been sitting here all day, but here. So all of the Rhino retirement programs are coded to be market orders. What market order means is they're agnostic to price. They're going to buy $10 worth, $25 worth, $100 worth at whatever the price of the coin is. They're buying it at the market price. Well, if everyone, oh, thank you. So if everyone is buying at the market price, then what's the market price? Is it pressure to go up or pressure to go down? Well, pressure to go up because the people that are selling are like, if you guys are just going to buy anything, all right, $50, $60, and it doesn't matter. They're just going to keep buying it because these guys aren't looking to be good investors. They're not investing in a company. They're investing in themselves. They're investing in their transactions. They're saying, by ourselves, we can go ahead and run this up forever. You know why? Because numbers are infinite and humans are infinite until like an asteroid hits the globe, and then there's no reason for this anymore, right? Like we got bigger problems, like we're dead. So while that's going on, that will happen after the billion coin's gone. At that moment, we understand that even though the math says this is going to go on forever, we don't want to face the question, well, Anthony, what's backing this? What's supporting this? Is this just another one of those coins? Because that's never been us. Like we're not here to go, even if we're really, really smart about it, trick people in a really smart way. It's just not what we do. That's where Rhino Street comes in, which has always been the crown jewel of everything we're doing. I cannot stress this enough, and sometimes I feel like I'm just saying it because I love it, but it is custom coded for the entire globe. It identifies user location and calculates search results by latitude and longitude of only the 20 miles around each individual user's location to offer the search results of only local businesses that opted in. It, by definition, is the world's only local search engine. And it makes no money. It collects no revenue. There's no ads. There's no user data retention. It is literally every community's own search engine to search their community first. But that's not exactly sexy to anybody because it doesn't go ahead and offer any immediate gratification. You don't go into Rhino Street and say, hey, I'm on Rhino Street, I'm going to change the world, because you have to get everyone else into Rhino Street. It's like a fax. It only works if you have other people faxing. Otherwise, you just have an expensive paperweight, right? So how do we go ahead and get people into Rhino Street? Well, at that point where the coin's doing all of this stuff, we say to everyone, you love the coin, right? You love it, you love Rhino, everything's great, you're making a bunch of money, cool. Do you want to keep making a bunch of money or do you want this to end sometime? This is how we do it quite easily. Does everyone agree that they'd like to search their community first? Does everyone remember the Rhino Street that we talk about all the time that's on Anthony's shirt? Well, can you do me a favor? Can you just go register? Like seriously, it's free. Go list yourself, list your favorite pizza place. Just get on it because once it's populated, now it's worth something. Google, which is worth 1.5 trillion, is a fully populated global search engine. Every search engine is a global search engine because every search engine likes to make profit. And to make profit, you have to do ads. To do ads, you have to market globally because if you did ads for only locally, you would be out of business very quickly. Because we have no interest in making profit and we have no interest in making revenues, we were able to spend 5 years building something that is the exact 100% opposite of Google. So this sentence remains in the future. If you want to search global, use Google. But local, use Rhino. When you put those two words in the same sentence as an either or, and one's worth 1.5 trillion and one is worth how much? I don't know. I'm not going to say 7.5 billion, so it's 7.5. Google is a really good company. Like, they're really, really good. Anytime I want to search for chicken pot pie, they know it immediately. If I want to know the temperature in Buenos Aires, they know it immediately. How can I compete with that, right? The point being, if we're worth even 1/10, that's 150 billion. There's only a billion coin, which means at that point, you can say that the coin at 150 billion is fairly valued. Well, no company trades at 1-to-1. They have an earnings multiple. Google trades at a 20 earnings multiple. 20 times 150 is what? 3,000? Can the coin go to 3,000 and still be financially supported by all metrics? Yes. Not to mention that the whole buying base is buying it probably to infinity. I don't know how high it goes. I know that it's completely engineered to only go up. And I know that what we really want to do is allow Rhino Street to be in the either or conversation. Because what we've always said is the death to local community is the fact that everyone clicks ads and sends money to some faraway faceless predator, and their own businesses are losing that money because their own businesses don't produce money. The money from local businesses come from local patrons. Well, if local patrons are sending their money elsewhere, local businesses go out, corporations come in, and everyone's grandma's working at a grocery clerk. I don't like that. So that's what we're doing, right? So in the email today, just what we're doing today. So in the email that I wrote, you'll see that going forward, every single day, especially for the next 30, you will receive an email every morning at 9 a.m. It will have all of our metrics, and it's not going to be as long as the ones I've been sending with 10 points. It'll be 3 to 5 points, just so you get a basis of what's going on. Then we'll do the 10 to 10 live. That will then be uploaded to the YouTube for 10:30. And that is our communication, unless you decide you want to message our concierge, which is V. Actually, V is kind of like Cher at this point. I feel like when I say concierge, people are like, just say V. In fact, she's better than Cher. She's one letter, like V. She owns a letter in the alphabet. You know what? She calls me A, but no one else does. So like, I think she's kind of cooler than me, which is cool. She's like really cool. So you can always message V, and you can always message me. I do want to let everyone know, if you're trying to message Steve, I asked him to shut his email box today and tomorrow, because he is like, to allow me to say the things that I say to you, you got to remember, after this gets turned off, the team looks at me and they're like, all right, we got to get to work. Like, Anthony's dreaming out loud and we're sitting here trying to create it, but they're the most competent team I've ever seen, and we're going to grow it. But there is a lot. Steve's like, Ant, I love messaging people back, but I have to be honest with you, I'm not going to hit my goals if I message people. I said, well, why didn't you tell me that? Shut your email box, I'll let everyone know. So that is that. All right, 23 minutes, I'm getting better at this. I think tomorrow, well, starting tomorrow, it's like, at 10 minutes, I will shut it off myself, right? So love everyone. Let me get back to this recording video. Wow, really great showing. Part of me wants to take this video and put it on the website. Like, I feel like I explained it, but whatever. Seriously, I always say it all the time, but I love you all. I really do. Let's go change the world, right? You know, when I started doing Rhino when I was younger, I used to run around one of the offices with rhino horns. Oh, and by the way, I'm like the worst friend ever. So Brian Dunnigan, his birthday was Monday. Happy 40th. I don't know if he's on with us today, but I swore to myself I was going to like message him or call him, and I completely forgot. So everyone who knows Brian Dunnigan, message him on Facebook. His birthday was Monday. He went to the Atlanta Braves game. He's an Atlanta homer. He has one of the most amazing stories, and I don't know anyone that doesn't love him. So I love you, Brian. Happy birthday. And everyone, I'll see y'all. Bye.